Hi Ramat,
Hello,
welcome to ABSC Analytics
thank you so much.
and really appreciate your valuable time. Let me introduce Rahmat Khan. He has been in the field of HR analytics for last 4 years and with overall experience of 10 years in the industries. He's a very passionate person about data science and he learns a lot, and in fact we both have a good understanding of mutual learning, and that is one reason why we have studied together, we learn from each other, and we have done a lot of assignments together. So Ramat, once again, welcome to ABSC Analytics.
Thank you so much, Anup. Thank you so much for having me here. Well, I stepped into the field of data science 3 years ago, and I see a lot of aspirants and learners having a lot of confusions, hundred of questions before, during, and after the program. So, how are you planning to tackle those questions, and what plans do you have in your mind for those aspirants?
Right, Ramat, you are absolutely right. Whenever there's a professional training, especially if you talk about the data science, which is new to the market, and it is the people have different questions in mind. Most important question is about the placement after the training. People are deciding, people believe that it's a new field. People believe that they have to start their career all over again after pursuing the data science training. But that is not the case. People are talking about fees and charges. People perceive this as a very expensive program in the market, which is not a case. That is one reason why ABC Analytics is holding a webinar in the first week of January at a large scale. We would like to clear all the doubts, all the queries. We would like to give all the answers to the aspirants, the learners, the professionals, so that whenever they want to enroll into any sort of professional training, they have to ensure that the objective is very clear, the goal is very clear, the mentor or the guide of the institute is leading them at the right path. So I'm requesting the aspirants, the learners, professionals, all my customers to just hold on for 2 weeks before we get onto a webinar, and you can flood me with the questions.
Thank you so much, Shanu, for explaining it so well. What are the topics that you are going to talk in the upcoming webinar that is planned in January 2023?
Yes, Ramat, so there'll be around 20 questions which will be answered. All these questions have come through survey after connecting with around 5,000 people across the globe. So let me just list down 4 to 5 important questions. So one, people feel that this is data science is a different domain altogether, which is not the case, and we'll be discussing in detail. The second would be about the fees and charges. People feel that this program of data science is very expensive. Again, it's not a case. ABSC believes that it is affordable to everyone. Third will be about the placement and the internship right after the training. The fourth point would be the approach of the training and how we are going to be different. How we are going to focus on the assignments and the projects. How we are going to make data science as a package so that when you go for an interview, you're not just being tested on the data science and the technical knowledge, you're also being tested on different aspects like your stakeholder management, your communication skill, your Excel knowledge. So we'll be discussing on this part as well. Apart from this, there'll be other 15 to 16 queries which we'll be taking up. And we invite all the people to attend this webinar, which is, of course, free of cost for you.
Thank you so much, Anup. I would like to ask you a question. There are n number of institutes. They have different programs related to data analytics. When I did that course, there was 9 months straight out course. I had to enroll myself. What are your plans to launch this course? Do you have certain plans that this course will be for 6 months, 9 months, or do you have a stage wise learning program that will benefit the aspirants?
Ramat, stage-wise learning program is a unique or is a USP of ABSC Analytics. This is something unique program that we have designed. We have considered the working professionals, we have considered the beginners, we have also considered people who have been trained on data science or rather semi-trained on data science, but they have not gone through any project or assignments. So what we are planning to do is to coach them according to the stages. For instance, if you are a beginner, I would love to have you for the program at stage 1. If you are a experienced professional, you have worked in the field of data, not necessarily data science, I would invite you to join stage 2. If you have been through several trainings on data science, but you have not been through some assignments or projects, you may be eligible to join stage 3. Why we are doing this? We don't want to put all the aspirants or the learners in one classroom where the trainer cannot cope up with the queries of all the aspirants or the learners. It becomes very difficult for a trainer to match the pace. It also becomes demotivating for the beginners to cope up with the experienced people. This is the reason why we have designed this stage-wise learning program. It's very interesting, and people are responding to this design, and we'll definitely deliver our best.
So, Anup, since you are talking about stage wise learning program, what plans do you have for the aspirants? Like, talk about one aspirant enrolling into the stage 1 program. So, do you think he will be eligible to land a job in the field of analytics after the completion of first stage first?
Ramad, I strongly recommend people not to enroll for a program which is just for 3 months. Stage 1 is to deliver the basics. He can enter into the market. There are people who may not be able to afford for the stages. There are people who may not have adequate time. However, I recommend to at least complete 3 stages. Now, if you talk about job after stage 1, he can enter the market as an analyst, executive level. He can enter the market in the field of Six Sigma as a green belt or a black belt. He can also enter into the market with certain different keywords where he can perform the level of the job of executive. However, as I said, I don't recommend this. A minimum of 6 to 8 month program is a must for a beginner or people who are semi-trained or people who have some experience in the industry.
So, Anup, what are the criteria to enter into the field of analytics? Like, talk about people having different background. Like, talk about me. I was having a completely different background. I didn't have any IT exposure. So, when I completed the program, just because I was from science background, I had privilege to land a job into the field of analytics. There are a lot of aspirants who do not have such IT background or science background. Do you think they have a scope or they have a future in the field of analytics, data science?
Ramat, let us consider the computation systems, the technology, which has actually enabled the programs of data science to make it more interactive and make it easier to learn. I strongly believe that you don't need to be from the IT background, you don't need to be a coder, you don't need to have a very strong mathematical background or a field of statistics. If you have, it is good. But if you don't have, this doesn't disqualify you from learning data science. Here we are learning the theory. We are applying some of the statistical tools like RStudio, Python, Azure ML. There are many other platforms where we are analyzing the statistics. What you need to have is a commitment to work hard, a analytical mind, a very clear thought process, and the understanding of the business. The way we have learned Excel, the way we practice Excel, I'll not say this is something very different. If you have this analytical mind, if you have the thought process, trust me, data science is not a rocket science. You can easily learn and you can enter the field of data science or analytics.
To conclude this discussions, why one should aspire to join ABSC Analytics?
Ramat, let me explain this with two approaches. One, from people side who are enrolling for training purpose. Second is the people who are joining us to work with us. People from coming from this field, joining us to work, they're getting to the deeper side of analytics. People who are enrolling for training, they're getting the benefits of state of the art technology, which we have installed in our training center in Noida. People enrolling from Africa and India and other parts of the countries or the world, they will not feel any difference between the offline and online training because of the technology that we have installed. The second part is on the affordability side. We are ensuring that each and every aspirant gets to learn with ABSC Analytics. We are giving them all the options of the payments. They'll not be forced to make all the payments at once. This program, ABSC Analytics design, is not only for people who can spend big money on training. Everybody should learn. This training program is for every door. Apart from this, our approach of the delivery is quite different. We are just not giving them assignments and quizzes and asking them to do it. They have to prepare business reports. They have to present the assignments. We are inviting industry experts. Apart from this, there are many other features which we have added to the program, which I will discuss during the webinar. Thanks a lot, Rahmat.
Thank you so much, Anup. It was pleasure talking to you, and thank you so much for explaining the concept of data science so well. And I'm sure this interview or this session will benefit the aspirants learners in a great way.
Thank you so much.